Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's episode of Realistic Battles. We're flying a bomber today. It's the B-17 Flying Fortress late, the E late, and we are approaching a target on Norway. Now, the plane is of course fantastic. They don't call it a flying fortress for nothing. It has a lot of stuff that is very beneficial for a bomber. It has a lot of guns. It's bristling with guns, as you can see. All around and in every angle you have coverage almost. It's vulnerable from the front though. But you have a shitload of guns on this thing, which is very nice. The plane is very sturdy as well. It can take a lot of damage, which is fantastic in a pinch. And with the gunners you can then try to defend yourself, which is nice. Another good defensive measure is that you have a co-pilot, so they need to kill 2 pilots in the cockpit to get a pilot snipe, which is fantastic. You have 4 engines on the thing, which is nice because it can even fly on 1 engine and it can reach a base with heavy damage flying on 1 engine. And you do need to drop altitude at that point because it cannot keep itself up on 1 engine on a higher altitude. But yeah, it can handle a lot of damage as well, which is nice. Of course, when you're talking about maneuverability and all that, yes, it is not that great. It's a heavy bomber. It is fast for a bomber at the battle rating. Especially when you put the nose down a little bit, but of course you cannot keep up with fighters, or you cannot stay ahead of fighters in the end. If they want you, they want you. But if you put yourself in, if you try to extend away from the fighters, you put your butt towards them and you put it into a shallow dive towards friendly fighters, you definitely have a chance to survive. You can chase them off with your back 50 cal gunners, which are very nice there in the back and have a good range on them. And yeah, survival in that sense is possible, but there are a lot of heavy hitters on this battle rating. Now those were nice first match, I'd say. I didn't get bothered there, no planes were high at my side, and as I climbed a little bit to the side. On every map you have to develop a tactic with this thing. On Sicily here as well, you fly against the Germans. The Germans have a lot of TAS and like I said, a lot of heavy hitting attackers, which will get to your altitude in no time if you stay high on the first run. And most of the 30 millimeters that they hold will, if aimed correctly, will kill your plane, unfortunately, especially if they come from in front of you, because that's the weakest part of this thing. There's no armor in the nose, it has a weak nose cone, and your pilots are also there. Well, you have to, of course, but if there's a shitload of 30 millimeter shells coming into the cockpit, most often they both die. So on this map I tried to make a tactic. Every time I went for the bases I got destroyed, so I tried to go for some ground targets first and take the plane back to the airfield, get a new bomb load, and get at it again. And I did do that. There was cloud cover in this match as well. What I did discover though in this match is that when you throw one of those 1000 pounders on a pillbox, a light pillbox, it didn't kill them in these matches and other matches either. So maybe I'm just not throwing them correctly and I'm throwing them slightly to the side, and that is enough to not be effective. But I don't know, man. I have not flown a bomber in a while, and I was quite surprised by this, because usually, at least in my memory, 1000 pounders should be able to get a pillbox, right? Like here, I'm completely on target as far as I could discern. Dropped it exactly when the little reticle went over it, and that should do it, right? Should be on target. Well, apparently not, because also this pillbox we're also not gonna get. Unfortunately, it was quite frustrating. I only got the AA that was slightly behind the pillbox. which was quite funny. But oh well, maybe I have to be lower, and maybe then you have more success with that kind of stuff. Of course, this is meant as a base bomber, but I noticed that at the battle rating you're at, with the firepower the planes have, this plane is in a tough situation. Does the off doom in the intro. It's definitely a tough plane to fly, and you gotta develop your tactics in the thing to keep yourself alive. But it has a lot of tools to do that with. The bomb loads are also alright. I say there is bombers with better bomb loads, of course, but 6-1000 is the heavy load with still a lot of bombs in there. You also have 12-500s, for example, if you want to attack something like a tank column or something. And I guess you can choose. You have a few other options as well. We'll look at them in the conclusion. But you have some options in the plane depending on which map you get. Now here we've got the last enemy normal fighter that is right above us, and he's coming in. He's already got 4 kills, and this guy was really having a great game. So I was basically considering this might be the end. Although I didn't know which kind of calibers he still had left in his guns. It looks like everything is shooting, so he probably had everything left still. We do get a hit and a crit there, and he seems to be... It seems that he's had enough, and he's going to the airfield. We're very close to their airfield here. I tried to pepper him a little bit more to discourage a loop back into me or something. But yeah, it seems like he's really going for that airfield over there. And speaking of the airfield, we really need to get the hell out of here, because we are a big target that doesn't maneuver out of the way that quickly, and if you get into AA fire at this altitude, you're basically dead. The engines on the B-17E late also have a tendency to catch fire. This happens regularly, and but in the end, if the fires go off and you keep flying, you can definitely survive without the engine that you lost, because the plane has 4 and it's able to fly on quite a while. Look at the damage we took. The 109 bites the dust as he tries to land. He probably was too damaged by me, and we survived that ordeal. We now want to make our way back to the airfield over there. We should be able to. Only one engine is really damaged. That's the second engine. No, it's the third engine, and the second engine is also leaking oil, so that it will die eventually as well. So number 3 is dead right now, and we still have 3 engines. We've got 5 ground targets, we've got a base, and we have that 109, which is quite nice. That's a good result in a B-17, I have to say. I mean, I had some decent matches, some bombing only, getting no air kills, and also getting shot down a lot, I have to say, and especially against the Germans, which can be devastating. Now here comes a Doe 217, and my gunner doesn't want to shoot. I don't get permission to shoot here. Might be out of my range, so I go back into the cockpit to do a little bit of evasive to make it a little bit more difficult for him, as he is peppering my elevator, of course, and the elevator keeps me up. Now my gunner did start to fire automatically, and now I start to get in there as well. So here we go. Let's see if we can get him. That fire was ours, and the crit, which is quite nice. I can barely keep the plane up. It's very, very difficult on the elevator, which is indeed orange on the left and yellow on the right. Barely can keep the plane up into the air. that is nice. Here comes the Doe 217 again, but it seems that he has lost elevator control. The other guy probably hit him there, and he gets the kill. I do not get the assist, which I should have gotten, to be honest. So 1.75 tons of bombs on bases, 1 air kill and 5 ground targets, second place in the team. Let's see what kind of rewards we got for that performance. Well, nothing spectacular, just 60,000 Silver Lions. We got anti-mech as well, 60,000 Silver Lions and 2100 research points. Second in the team. I'll see you in the conclusion. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now that was enjoyable. Had a nice run out with the B-17E late. The plane does have nice defensive capabilities. It's bristling with guns, like I said. It covers pretty much all the angles. It is quite vulnerable though from the front, where there are only a few 50 cals, and you have the whole cockpit without armor, so just a little bit of armor, but that doesn't really protect your pilots good enough. You have 4 big engines on the plane. The plane is capable of flying on 1 engine, which is quite nice as well. You have a co-pilot in there, which means that 1 pilot killed doesn't mean the end of your plane. Aside from that, the plane is built very ruggedly and is capable of taking a shit ton of damage. Still, at the battle rating where it's at, there is such heavy firing fighters and interceptors and attackers that they will kill you if they get the chance, and it happens a lot. That's why the B-17E late for me was tough going, really tough going. You really. So let's have a final look at the bomb loads, which I promised you guys. So here we have it. You start off with 8 times 500, then you go up to 12 times 500 pounds, 6 times 1000 pounds, and 2 times 2000 pounds. I would mostly choose for the 6 times 1000 pounds, but the 12 times 500 might be something for you. If you're on a map with columns with a lot of light vehicles on them, that might be beneficial to your research and Silver Lion quest. And yeah, iconic plane. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment. And if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.